What's up guys, this is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and the next review I want to do for you is the Marvel Legends style Avengers movie Hulk figure. Decent figure overall, but there are definitely some major problems with this guy, so let's go ahead and get into it. First of all, accessories, he comes with the base, that's it. Base is really kind of too small for him. I mean, you can peg his feet onto it and it's okay, but compared to the other figures, obviously, it's really not that useful, if you can even get it on. So, I mean, he can use it, but it just looks a little bit odd because he's so big, but whatever, no big deal. As far as the figure goes, it looks nice at first glance. I like the sculpt work for sure. There are, like I said, some problems. There's no paint anywhere other than his face and I guess his pants, but the pants are brown, the skin's green, that's it. There's no shading, no paint work anywhere. So it's kind of disappointing. It makes him look pretty cheap. As far as the head goes, it's a decent sculpt. It's pretty solid, looks pretty good. There's dry brushing for the hair, the eyes are painted nicely, teeth are painted fairly nicely, so it's not bad. There's a little bit of paint on the head and the sculpt's solid, so I'm okay with that. Articulation wise, pretty close to none due to the fixed ball peg. So all you really have is a little bit of up and down and then the side to side. A little bit, not even really any that way. It has the diaphragm joint, which has a decent range of motion, but it's pretty ugly and not nearly as good as a ab crunch with the waist rotation. So could be better, but it's not bad. If you'll notice, his back comes down way far compared to the front, so you can't get him to lean back at all. When you bend him forward, it's a little ugly, but it's not terrible. In my opinion, if you're not going to have an ab crunch and a waist twist, you might as well just not have anything, because it would just look better and it's not that useful. So I'm not a big fan of that. And this is going to sound weird, sound really weird probably, but he doesn't have any nipples, and I'm pretty sure Hulk was supposed to have nipples in the movie, or had nipples in the movie, so it looks kind of odd since he's not wearing a shirt, but I'm not going to really complain about that because I don't need to have nipples on the figure. It's just something worth mentioning, I think. Other than that though, the sculpt is good on the skin. There's some nice texturing and the musculature is pretty nice. Standard ball disc shoulders, good range of motion, bicep swivel built in, double jointed elbows, and a wrist swivel and a wrist pivot. Now here's something I don't care for. His arms are a little bit stumpy. This one not as much because it's got the open hand, but this one looks pretty stumpy, especially if you look at him side to side. This hand, there's not enough finger going on. The fingers, because you have them in the fist, it kind of shrunk the hand down. This really made the hand look huge compared to this hand. So it looks kind of weird. Same articulation otherwise, just the fist sculpted differently. He's got a wide joint ball disc hips, thigh swivel built in, double jointed knees, but the pants stick straight out so it looks a little bit weird. And ankle pivot and the new ankle rotation. The ankle pivot's not that good because you can't get the foot to go any higher. It would take some modification. So really all you can do is give him a flat, straight up and down stance or put his foot that way. You can't bring it this way at all. So you can't really bend his knees and have him stand. That's a problem. It's kind of ugly too. I'm not sure if I like this new style of articulation. If anything, I wish that the heel would come up a little bit more because it just looks weird. It kind of makes him look like he has fat ankles, not having the heel come up at all. So I don't really care for that. Sculpt work's not bad, but again, there's no paint, and without having the feet come forward a little bit more, it's kind of hard to get him to stand without giving him perfectly straight up and down stance. That's kind of a problem. He stands just about 8 inches tall, so he's a good size. He's a decent figure. There's definitely no reason not to buy him unless you really don't like those things that I pointed out. It's still a decent figure overall, and he's hard to come by, so if you find him, I do suggest you get him. Just don't expect anything spectacular. Otherwise, he's okay for the collection, and if you're going to have Avengers figures, you better get the Hulk because he was one of the major characters in the movie. Alright guys, that'll do it for this review. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for some more figure reviews coming up, and maybe some other good stuff, and in the meantime, keep collecting.